On the atheistic view, then, an action like rape is not socially advantageous, and so in the course of human development has become taboo. But that does absolutely nothing to prove that rape is really morally wrong. On the atheistic view, there's nothing really wrong with raping someone. But the problem is that objective values do exist, and deep down we all know it. In moral experience, we apprehend a realm of objective moral goods and evils. Actions like rape, cruelty, and child abuse aren't just socially unacceptable behavior. They're moral abominations. Some things, at least, are really wrong. Similarly, love, equality, and self-sacrifice are really good. But then it follows logically and necessarily that God exists.
I wonder if Craig was living in ancient Carthage, and the humans at the time were sacrificing their infants to the deities, or in Tyre, or wherever it may be that you're doing this. It's just inherently morally right what they're doing to give to the god. And again, would he go, yeah, you know what, actually, based on the revelation that we currently have and the deep intuitive moral compass we carry and the God that we believe in, that we're sacrificing to, this is the right thing to do. Like, it's just terrible to me.
But here's the deal with those people who are sacrificing their children to these gods, to appease these gods. That's exactly why they're sacrificing their children, because they love their children. They don't want their children to have to die. They're being held hostage by their gods, what they believe their gods want. They'd love nothing more than for the God to bless their children and let their children live. But they're doing this because out of sheer terror. It's a survival instinct. They don't want to sacrifice their children. They feel this is what they must do to appease their gods. You think when they sacrifice their children they don't feel bad about it? They might suppress how bad they feel because they're pleasing their gods. And they're getting cool points with their gods, and they're sacrificing their children to save the rest of the community, but they don't want to have to sacrifice their children, and that is why faith in God. And so help me God, I curse my face looks like this, and I do not look good. I don't want to curse, but I curse my face looks like this, and not good looking. I digress. Anyway, that's why belief in God and Jesus is so refreshing, because God said don't sacrifice your children, because God, I know you're going to bring up Abraham and being asked to sacrifice his son and all those draconian laws in the Old Testament where God killed a bunch of babies, but I digress. But according to I believe in Jesus commands love one another, and everybody's down with loving one another, and that is why it's so easy to believe in Jesus. But in closing, they didn't want to have to sacrifice their children, and that could look middle age too. They didn't want to have to sacrifice their children. But they did it out of sheer desperation. They suppressed their inborn love for their children. And that's what happens.
Baby, push my face. I'm a basket cake. Baby, push my face. So you will love me, but instead you stood above, you spit me out, you kick me down. I